Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of TEVAdrive. And this time around we are test driving this beautiful brand new 2022 BMW iX in the 50M version, which is the mid-range version. There's also a base 40 X-Drive, all-wheel drive. The 50M X-Drive is the mid-range, and there above it is the 60M with even more power. We are comparing it logically to our e-tron, which is on my right. So we'd like to give you some specifications and comparison between these two cars. This car has been around for 3 years now, since 2019. We've had it for about 2 years. We have about 60,000 kilometers on it, as most of you know. We're still running it on winter tires. We wanted to upgrade to the 22-inch rims for this test comparison, but every garage in the city is busy because everybody is changing tires. So we're still running the Audi on the 20-inch rims with snow tires on, and that's affecting, of course, the efficiency of driving. The BMW already has the all season's own Bridgestone tires. The size of this wheel is 22-inch rims and 275 wide tires, which is exactly what we'll be putting on the Audi e-tron next week. So we'll post the pictures of it as well. So let's concentrate now on the specifications of this mid-range BMW iX. This car is 5 centimeters longer than the e-tron and 10 centimeters taller. You can actually see it because they are both positioned now in their efficiency settings. So you can see the e-tron is lower. Of course, you can raise it to the all-road is the highest position. The BMW, this is efficiency positioning of the air suspension, and you can raise it by pressing the button on the center console. It raises a few inches. This car also has four-wheel steering, minimally so at the back around 4 degrees. Probably some of the other SUVs and luxury electric cars will turn, such as Taycan and EQS, will turn as much as 10 degrees for additional cost apparently. But anyways, we'll demonstrate that in a moment. So again, longer, the iX is longer and slightly taller as well. Now, this mid-range model, the 50M, has 520 horsepower, 4.5 seconds to 100 acceleration, versus 400 horsepower and about 5.5 seconds. So it's full second faster. It also has 120 horsepower more. The battery size, it's also substantially bigger here on the BMW iX because it's 111 kilowatt hours gross and about 105 kilowatt hours net versus 95 gross and 86 net. So it's substantially longer. That explains a lot of the difference in range. Right now we're getting just over 300 kilometer range on this one, and we're getting over 500 kilometers range on this one. So part of the difference in range is the battery size, of course, but also the efficiency, and we'll tell you all about it, the results of our highway test drive and hypermiling tests in a moment once we take you for a spin in this wonderful car. So that's it. Now, the other thing that we want to mention is the part of the efficiency is also the weight of the car. This car weighs at almost 2.5 tons. This car is 2.4 tons, so it's a full 100 kilograms lighter, even though it's bigger and with a substantially bigger battery. The reason for it is the CFRP, carbon fiber, and it's heavy on carbon fiber and aluminum, just like our i3. And you can see it once you open the door, so we'll demonstrate in a second. All right, this car is also equipped with the laser light. Now, the other thing worth mentioning when you compare the two cars, they actually are priced the same. The base of the e-tron starts at 89,000, and so does this BMW iX. So in this comparison, you can tell that this is a much better deal because of the higher efficiency, longer range, more power, etc. So I'm sure Audi will respond with the next generation e-tron, which will have longer range, will be faster, etc. Now, to get this kind of an acceleration in an e-tron, you can do that, but you'd have to go with an e-tron S that also has 500 horsepower, but then you're talking substantially over 100,000 base price. This car, as is, starts at 90,000, but with all the options that this press car has, it's actually 120,000 almost. So it has $30,000 worth of options. You have the laser lights. You have the blue accents on the front. BMW laser light. It actually says right there. This is the very controversial beaver teeth grille in front with the camera right here. So again, beautiful 22-inch rims here, shod with 275 wide tires. This car comes with the bronze accents. The only pity is that, and it works well with the dark red color. However, this bronze should be also, when you're paying extra for this bronze accents, they should also be on the rims to match, because rims are black and chrome. So I think it would be nice if it all were to match. A lot of cameras all around, the indicators, you have cameras all around the car. We'll show you in a moment. Now this car has the doors where on the Audi they are fully framed. This is those doors that you open here. It's an electric opening. These are frameless doors, just like the Teslas. Okay, there you go. You have LED built right into the door here as well that changes colors depending on situation. It's equipped with soft close. There you go. It just closed itself. Same in the back doors. All nice line in the back with the big iX logo in the back here. And then we'll show you the back of the car. A little less controversial. I actually prefer the back of this car than the front. But even the front is starting to grow on me. And more people are buying. I've actually seen a few of them in the wild already in Toronto. So here's another iX logo in bronze. The rear LEDs. It does not have the unibrow like a lot of the current electric cars, and then you have another model name right here on the back. You have the xDrive 50, so you have the model name. This would show 40 or 60 depending on the other versions of the car, which will also be available here in Canada. 40 will be less, with less horsepower, around 340 horsepower, and the 60 will have more. It'll be 600 horsepower and sub 4-second acceleration. So here's your charge port. And they do have a bit of a light again. My complaint is that there should be more light around this, so at night you can actually see when you're plugging in. Here's the level 2 and the level 3. So here you go. This is the front is very spacious, all flat floor in the front. The only complaint here is the cup holders are not positioned here. They're actually down below. So as you're driving, trying to reach for your coffee cup, it's not very practical. So that's my only complaint about the design. Other than that, it's nice and clean design. This car comes with Bowers & Wilkins, 24 speakers, upgraded stereo. The speakers are even in the headrest behind you. Beautiful surround system. The steering wheel, of course, heated, has a bit of a weird shape. But I actually don't mind it at all. I think I would have much more of an issue driving the Tesla's yoke than this weirdly shaped steering wheel. It actually works quite well. You have the beautiful large screen, which actually, of course, it's 2 screens. A very similar setup, identical setup to the i4. Very similar setup to the Hyundai and Kia latest electric cars. Kind of the same setup. This one is curved. And then the rest of it is, they have quite a large storage compartment right here. And there is the, underneath here, you have the wireless charging pad. Of course, the car comes with the wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. You have 2 USB-C plugs. Unfortunately, there's no standard USB. But since you have wireless charging, there's perhaps no need to have any cables at all. The only thing is, I found that the wireless charger here is pretty slow. My phone just barely went up in state of charge. It's just manages to maintain the state of charge when you're using your phone for streaming music, etc. Okay, so this car comes with upgraded crystal switches here on the doors, as you can see. So again, the bronze accents, the crystals on the doors. Where the standard car will have just a metal controls for the seats, and it has of course the heated seats and cooled seats. I don't believe this particular model comes with a massage. Some of the other electric cars we recently tested has, so just cooling and heating, which is good enough. I'm not sure how often we would use the massage unless we're on a cross-country trip or something, which we may yet do again very soon. This crystal is also an upgrade. You have 3 crystals here, the center crystal. You have the second one for changing the gear change is right here. Start stop button is right here. The gear change, R, N, D, and then when you press it again, you're going to B mode or one pedal mode. So it's very easy to change. You don't have to change it through the menus like some of the other electric cars. You basically press it again on a D position. You go into B, which is your true one pedal driving. And when you're in D, you can also the car will creep forward, which it doesn't in the B mode, and so it feels more like a regular automatic. And also, you can in D mode you can adjust different levels of region through the menus here. Okay, and another crystal here is your volume button for the entertainment. This car is also equipped with volume gesture control. The car also has, and we'll show you as we're driving, the augmented reality navigation. So we'll show you all that as we're driving. Let me show you now. So I'm in a very comfortable position here in the front. Let us show you the back space. So let's turn the car on because then the seat moves. Let's turn it on for a second. Actually, this time the seat didn't move. And I'm gonna go in the back to show you the very spacious back of the car. So here we go. I was in a very comfortable position in the front and plenty of space here in the back. You have the 40-60 split seats with a center armrest and 2 cup holders right here that fold. Oh, that's very nice. Lots of space. Headrests, again, all of them with speakers. 2 USB-C ports here and there for passenger and yourself. You have a separate climate control here for the passengers, and you have, of course, the vents in the center as well as the B pillar right here. Some storage in both seats here. So, of course, you have the beautiful panorama roof, which is, and again, an upgrade. And this roof is photochromatic, which means there's a button in front. We'll demonstrate as we're driving that the roof goes opaque, which I believe it is right now because yesterday it was nice and sunny, sorry. And the interior was heating up, so we pressed the button and it went opaque, and then you can turn it off to have a nice see-through roof, a panorama roof as well. So a lot of headroom, again, plenty of headroom. Again, it's 10 centimeters taller than the e-tron. E-tron is very comfortable in the back seat as well, but you have a lot of headroom here, as you can see, and I'm 190 centimeters or 6 feet 3 inches tall, and plenty of space for the legs and for the head. I will show you the trunk as well because the trunk is actually bigger than the newest version of BMW X5. So the car has the foot swipe. There we go. The LEDs flash and the trunk opens. So this shelf is removable. So it stays normally it stays put. There we go. Well, anyways, you can remove it, so it's a removable shelf, but normally it just stays put in the car. And you have quite a spacious trunk, which apparently is quite a bit bigger than the comparable BMW X5. Okay, there's more storage space underneath. There's your tire kit. It doesn't have spare tire, but it has a tire repair kit, and it has your cables right here. And this is a dual voltage cable, both level 1 and level 2. You just switch the adapters and you can charge it on both level 1 or level 2. You have buttons here on the right to put the seats down. You just press a button and the seats go down. The rear row seat backs go down. And that's about it. You have the lights here, so when you're on the side of the road perhaps, and you're doing open your trunk, these lights will actually come on so when you have the lights on, so that to warn others that you're sitting on the side of the road with the trunk open. So there we go, let's close it up and let's take this baby for a spin. We'll demonstrate the various driving modes, region modes, etc, etc, but let's first walk you through the screens here. So first of all, let's turn the car on, and you simply do it by pressing the pedal, brake pedal, and the start stop buttons right here. There you go, so the seat moves, the steering wheel moves as well into position. You can see the car shows which seats are occupied, which ones are not. Shows you the current, the instantaneous power consumption. As you can see, the climate is using about 1.2 kilowatts of power. We have a climate at 20 degrees. We have the steering heat on and the seat heat on as well. The way you go into this is the home screen basically. It shows the Android Auto, the telephone, and then the car consumption screen here, the weather as well. Climate menu, so you have it here. And you can see the steering heat at low. This is seat cooling, we don't have it on. This is seat heating at low, and so you can see the various adjustments on one side and the other side. Okay, so it's all here. That's the seat cooling as well, and this is on for the passenger side, and this is for the driver's side. So let's go to home screen. So here again, it's the main menu, which is basically this. You can have just down to vehicle apps or all apps. You have the Android Auto button is right here. So you have to, that's your Waze screen with your entertainment being on the right side. So there's a quick shortcut to the Android Auto, or I presume Apple CarPlay as well. Let's show you this. So basically, this is our consumption. We can talk quickly about the consumption comparison with the Audi e-tron. We just drove about 26 kilometers from Midland to the town of Georgian Bay. Port Severn charges at Ivy, where we are topping up the e-tron, and soon we'll plug in the iX as well. So the average consumption was about 23.6. It's gone up because we've been sitting here with the heating on. So 23.6 versus the same route driving at the same time, side by side on the Audi was over 26. And the Audi was driving without the climate on. So my son was trying to hypermile it with no climate, no heating, driving the same speed and everything. And we got 3 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers more. So 23 here versus 26 there without the climate. So with the climate would have been even more, obviously. So much more efficient car. Again, part of it is the weight, part of it is aerodynamics, more efficient motors, more efficient battery. It's a next generation, newer generation electric car for sure, and you can feel the difference. All right, so that's where we can check the consumption afterwards. Let's go back to the main screen. You have your calendar and the clock, route preview, traffic conditions. You can add widgets here. And so on and so on. So let's click on the main menu. You have the interior lighting options. So BMW ID, mobile devices, personal assistant, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, FM radio, Sirius XM, presets, Spotify, all the other apps. And then if we click on vehicle apps, you have your charging options here. So the important thing is the timer, charging mode, charge immediately, departure plan, no time set, AC limit, 32 amps. Charging target, we took it down to 80% because tomorrow we want to bring it to a low state of charge for our final fast charging session to see if we can get anywhere near that 195 kilowatt top speed. We'll probably have the car down to around 30% or so, and hopefully we'll get the maximum charge rate, especially it's supposed to be warmer today. Today it's still freezing cold, it's plus 5 degrees here in Georgian Bay Township, and it's very, very cold, and it was raining, pouring rain just moments ago. Unlock cable, fan loudness, again you can change that to fan loudness, automatic, unrestricted, restricted, etc. So let's just leave it on automatic. So that's your charging options, seat comfort, okay, seat position. Oh, you do have a massage, there you go. So this car does have a massage, and you can adjust it seat massage level, speed, what kind of massage you want, etc., etc. So the car does have, and as would be expected with a car that's priced at 120,000. Again, the base price is 90,000. As equipped is 120,000. So $30 worth of options, and that's one of the upgraded options. Front passenger, excuse me, same thing. So climate control, seat climate control. And all the other options are right here. Okay, so let's go back to the main menu. Seat comfort, live vehicle. Okay, so we've seen it before. Okay, back to menu. System settings, interior lighting. So of course you can change the colors of the LEDs, and we'll try and shoot it at night as well. You can see the LEDs here are positioned not in the doors themselves, but at the top of the door. I don't know if you can see it here. There's an LED running right along the glass of the doors. So both front and back. Maybe you can shoot it in the back as well. You can see them a little bit better perhaps. And of course you have the LEDs in the footwells and in the seat pockets, in the door pockets rather. So there's quite a lot of ambiance LED lighting, and you can adjust the colors through the interior lighting button here on the main screen. Climate control displays, doors and windows. The car of course comes with a head-up display, this particular car, and it does come with augmented reality navigation. It's a little bit different than all the other cars we tested. The augmented reality is not in the HUD. The augmented reality will actually show up on the main screen. So let's try and set navigation for whatever destination. And by the way, let's test this one because we had difficulty getting the car to find the fast charging at a destination. So apparently you should be able to program longer trips, including all the charging stops. So let's try and ask the car to take us to Calgary, for example. All right. Hey, BMW. Navigate to Calgary, Alberta.
Sure, I will look for destinations.
It's calculating route. Let's see if it'll plan just like our Audi e-tron did. And of course, Teslas do have this same option to plan the route, including all the charging stops.
Please proceed to the highlighted route and then immediately turn right.
Yes, show charging stops. 10 chargings. That's not a lot. 10 charging stations on the road. It's 3,500 kilometers and only 10 charging stops. Okay, maybe it makes sense. Let's see what it does. Okay, first of all, it wants us to charge up here. So there you go. Oh, Tesla, Rosso Road. Show results. Okay, so it's 50 results for charging stops. So it basically, it wants you to pick them manually. It doesn't pick them automatically for you. So I guess it wants you to, so it's not as automatic as the e-tron was or as Tesla is. It seems that you have to pick the chargers en route. So you have all the way to Calgary. It has all the, including Petro-Canada and Nipigon, which we used. So they're all there, but it seems that you have to pick them out manually. So for example, we have 300 kilometers range at 60%. Horseshoe Lake, I don't know why it says Tesla, because it's Petro-Canada. There we go. So number 1. Okay, add as a stop. So yeah, it's kind of complicated. Should be simpler, right? Start guidance, current location. So you have to kind of do it one by one. It won't program the entire trip for you, including all the fast charging stops like Tesla does or e-tron does. So maybe with future software updates that might be simpler. So let's just cancel it for now. We're not going to Calgary today. Hopefully soon again. Once the either Petro-Canada network is better serviced than of fewer breakdowns, or maybe the Tesla supercharger network opens up. So let's just, how do we cancel navigation here now? Let's just go back. I don't think it started, so we should be fine. I don't think the navigation started to Calgary, maybe it did. Let's just end the navigation right there. Okay, perfect. We'll set the navigation because we want to show you the augmented reality. So we'll set a navigation for town of Wabashin, for example, where we're going to turn around. Hey, BMW, set navigation for Wabashin, Ontario.
Sure, I will have the results for you soon.
Okay, so obviously it doesn't understand. Maybe it's my Polish accent. It doesn't work.
I've selected for Watchell Road, King, Ontario. Should I add the destination to our trip?
No.
Please continue using manual control.
Yeah, so it didn't work out. So let's just try and set it manually. Maybe we'll try another city with an easier name for her to understand. So let's just do it manually here. There you go. Yeah, the verbal commands, I found it sometimes it's there's only limited vocabulary that the car has, so sometimes it doesn't understand or it doesn't have that function. So you might as well. Let's see, Wabashin. Come on, searching. It's not very fast. Wabashin Beach Park. Okay, that's fine. Let's set it here. We're only 5 kilometers away. We'll take a small section on the 400. Start guidance.
Please proceed to the highlighted route.
Okay, so hopefully you'll get a chance to see the augmented reality. So basically, this is the normal display. It doesn't have the satellite image like the e-tron does. We have it in 3D mode right now, and you will only see the augmented reality as you approach a turn. So hopefully you'll get to see it soon. Okay, let's put it in drive and let's drive. Now, this is your D position, which basically creeps forward. Okay, so we don't want that. We are one pedal people. Let's press it again to go into B mode, and now the car is full stop and doesn't creep. Oh, there we go. So the augmented reality just turned on, so it only turns on just before your turns. You can see the arrow, which will change, and your turn sign, which...
Turn right onto District Road 5
there you
and then
go.
turn left.
There we go. So it's basically using the front camera with augmented reality on top of it. It's kind of neat. Some of the other, as we mentioned, some of the other manufacturers will have it on your HUD. Here, the HUD has a regular navigation map, by the way, showing you turn-by-turn notifications. But the augmented reality is just on the center screen here. Here again, it shows you the arrow and our exit.
Turn left toward Barrie.
There you go. It increases in size, and then you have the animated arrows pointing you in the right direction onto the highway ramp. There we go. Now, the car defaults to the standard or personal mode. We want to be driving in... actually, let's do it in the sport mode. What the heck? Because this is a 520 horsepower car, let's put it in sport mode so you can also listen to the beautiful Hans Zimmer artificial engine sounds. So my modes button is right here. Let's put it in sport. There we go. Activate and listen on to the sounds. There you go. Very pleasant sounds, artificial engine sounds composed by Mr. Hans Zimmer. Sounds very nice. To activate the cruise control, on and set, and there we go. We set it for 110, and the mode is now auto steer. It shows right here the auto steer mode. Now, if we try and let our hands out, there's a lot of sensors pointed at you that you cannot see right now, but there we go. It's prompting me already. and it's prompting me through the main screen, through the head-up display, and even a light right here on the steering wheel. So let's do it again. If you pay attention to the steering wheel, I'm gonna let go of the steering wheel, try and drive hands-free as we did on the Ford Mustang Mach-E. And there you go, already a prompt, flashing light, flashing light, flashing light. Okay, so it is not a hands-free system. And it knows, okay? So within 5 seconds, it tells you to put your hand on the steering wheel. So it is a smart system with a lot of sensors. But it is a nice auto steer. I mean, as long as you keep your hand on the steering wheel, it steers very nicely. Both on the 400 series highways, or even side roads, even city streets, as long as there's clear markings on both sides, okay? So otherwise, you'll hear a sound where the auto steer is turned off, so it warns you that it's no longer steering, and then you have to take over. All right, so there we go. Let's go back to the main screen here. So all the buttons here, the home screen, it's all easy to remember. So my modes are here, parking buttons, home screen, media, telephone, navigation, volume is here, forward, fast forward, so going back and forth for the entertainment, etc., etc. Okay, so let's just go back to the home screen and let's keep an eye on our consumption. So there we go. Let's move it to the right. Okay, there we go. Let's turn this screen on with our consumption. So here the instantaneous consumption, you can see it here. We're at highway speeds. We're at 22. We're downhill now 19. So that's instantaneous. Average is at 26.8 right now for this entire trip. And you have the mileage here, the time of the trip, and the average consumption right here. All right. So that's about it. And let's switch it back to navigation screen so we can enjoy the nice augmented reality, because the highway exit is we're approaching the highway exit. And there we go. So our impression of this car, it's definitely a next generation EV. It's faster, it's more efficient, it's bigger, and it has longer range than our e-tron, and it's priced the same as our e-tron. So this would be a fantastic upgrade. We're gonna keep our e-tron 2 more years, of course. We have it on lease, but this might be very well the replacement for our Audi e-tron. The only thing it doesn't have that we like is the opening sunroof. So let's demonstrate. If you can point to the sunroof. Right now it's opaque.
Exit right and then go straight.
And we'll turn it off. There we go, there's a sound. And now you should be able to see the sky a little bit more and the sun. It's not really sunny today. And let's turn it back on. Here's the sound. And it's opaque again. So it's photochromatic, electrochromatic, whatever it's called. So you can have it see through, or you can have it all done electronically through this button here. So we're approaching the highway exit, so pay attention to the screen here. We should go into, there we go. We're back to augmented reality, pointing us towards the highway exit. There we go. Big arrows, can't miss it. Very impressed with this car. It's definitely a high-tech machine, even though compared to some other cars. Let's turn off the navigation now. Okay, because otherwise it's going to be pointing us in the wrong direction. The car is as we mentioned, compared to our e-tron, it's a full 100 kilograms lighter. Even though it's taller, it's longer, has a much bigger battery, it's still 100 kilograms lighter, and it's more efficient because it has new generation motors, new generation battery. So your much longer range comes from that. We're showing it here 57% at 280 kilometers at 57%. So imagine that. So it's estimating well over 500 kilometer range at full. And while our Audi e-tron is barely over 300. Now this gasometer, GOM as they call it, can be tad optimistic because based on our consumption, it might be a bit challenging, to be honest, at least in these low temperatures, to attain 500 kilometer range at highway speeds. It is a fantastic electric SUV. We definitely recommend that you should look at it. Now, we just experienced the launch of its toughest competition, the new EQS Mercedes, which is priced, of course, higher because it's the equivalent of the Mercedes GLS. So EQS SUV was just launched. It's well over 100,000, but it's bigger and it has third row seat. Okay, let's turn on.
I didn't understand that.
Okay, one of the devices is listening on to us, but that's okay. We're resuming the auto steer on the way back to the chargers in port 7. So again, much more efficient, even though it's bigger. Definitely feels like a next generation electric car. Highly recommended. It's already available. You can get it delivered very quickly. They should have them in stock, in fact, at various dealers. You can go to a BMW dealer and test drive one. And if you order one, the delays should not be that big. For both this and the i4 we just test drove, and we have the video already posted on our channel. So have a look at that. We love that car as well. So either the i4 or the iX would be a great replacement for anyone who drives an i3. It's a very natural progression for anyone coming off an i3, we still have our i3. We still love it for the past 6 years, well over 100,000 kilometers, and we're keeping it for now. But when the time comes to replace the e-tron, this would be one of the choices. So again, on the Mercedes side, you will have the EQS SUV, which is bigger and more expensive. And then there will be an EQE SUV, slightly smaller, but perhaps more a competition for this iX, which will be more affordable, probably more in line with the e-tron prices and the iX pricing. And again, there will be various models available, just like with the iX. There will be other luxury competition. The Audi, of course, launched its concept SUV called the Urban Sphere concept, but that's still years away. It was basically targeted at the Chinese market. The Audi e-tron is due to be upgraded as well with longer range and more efficient motors, more power. But that won't happen until next year. So after this iX is launched, which is a very competitive product, better than the Audi e-tron, at least on paper, the Audi will have to improve the e-tron substantially to be able to compete. Now we will also be driving again Jaguar I-Pace in the next few weeks. We'll see how competitive that product is with all the other electric SUVs. It's still worth considering as well. But again, our general recommendation is it's a fantastic electric SUV. We don't want to compare it with a Tesla Model X. Honestly, Tesla is a category of its own. But between the two, our personal choice would be, of course, this BMW iX. We loved it and we highly recommend it. And we recommend that you should at least test drive it when shopping for a fully electric SUV. We're just at Electrified Canada here in Milton, where we end most of our reviews. We just came up from Midland to Meaford to Milton, so 3 M's, a total of 250 kilometers. The temperature when we started was about 10 degrees and ended up being close to 20 degrees when we arrived in Meaford. Then it went as high as 26 degrees, so we had to go with no climate and heating yesterday to air conditioning. Believe it or not, we had to drive with air conditioning on at 22 degrees with outside temperature at 26. Here in Milton, the temperature went down to about 18 degrees. So part of the first 100 kilometers was with no climate. Last 150 was with climate on, which was actually air conditioning due to the heat outside today. Anyways, we just plugged it in. The two cars started just around 30%. The iX was around 29%. Remember, we started at 75%. It was showing a range of 350. At 75%, which would normally mean around under 500 kilometers, 450 kilometers. Because we were hyper-miling it, at some point we got it as low as 16 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. Now it's showing about 18.7 average for the whole test. What that would translate into is close to almost 600 kilometers in range if you're driving below 100 kilometers per hour without climate or with eco-climate. So let's show you the again the inside of the car briefly. So here you go. We started at 30%. We're at 29%. We are after a few minutes we're up to 50%. The car does not show you the speed of charge, so we'll check it out on the machine. Again, our average total 255 kilometers today, with an average consumption of 18.7 over those 250 kilometers total. Okay, let's check out the machine. As I mentioned, at 29%, we started right away around 130 kilowatts. And now we're up to 51%, and the machine is running at 128. So really to remain constant, we were not able to get that maximum charge rate of 195 kilowatts. Perhaps you need lower than 29%. Maybe you have to take it down like Porsche Taycan down to 15 or 20%. We were not able to do it today, but we started at pretty low at 29%. All we got was 130 kilowatts. It went up to about 137 at around between 30 and 40%. Now at 50%, it went down to 128. Let's check out the Audi now. We're 2 cars down. And by the way, unfortunately, there's 2 other cars that should be charging. Only one of them is. Here is another Tesla Model Y dual motor that is not charging, parked in a charging spot and not charging. There was unfortunately another Hyundai Ioniq 5 that tried to charge from Guelph, could not because this Tesla Model Y is parked using this charger as a parking spot. Please, Tesla groups, make sure you tell, and unfortunately it happens mostly to Tesla owners for some reason. They are not educated. So please, in your Tesla groups, make sure that you tell people not to use chargers as parking spots. Okay, let's get back to the Audi. So right now, like I said, we started at around, what percentage was it? Over 30%. It was around 35% or so. Right now, we are at 53%, and we're charging at 97 kilowatts. The Audi, the top speed we got on this charger was about 115 today. We did not get anywhere close to the maximum of 150 either. Right now we're at 53%, charging at 98 kilowatts. It could be the chargers because Audi is pretty good with its charging speed. We did not precondition the batteries today. Okay, let's put it in the charging screen. Let's turn the climate off. It's gonna charge faster. And the vehicle, oh, it's initializing, so just bear with us. Takes a while for the car to initialize, charging and charging. There we go. So we have the maximum set to 100%, long distance, 54%, 32 minutes remaining to charge to full, which is very similar to what the iX is showing currently. Let's show you the machine, but again, we already know the speed is around just over 90, it's below 100. So let's walk around the other way because we have cables. We have the machine again showing 55%, and we're at 98 kilowatts. So none of those 2 cars got close to its maximum. Again, the Audi is 150 kilowatts maximum, and it's able to maintain that speed in ideal conditions up to 80% state of charge. And all we got today on the iX, even though we started at a fairly low percentage of 29%, the maximum we got was about 137 kilowatts. Now again, all 4 stations are full. Only 3 of those are being used. So that's all we got in terms of the charging speed. So to summarize, here from Milton, our comparison and review of our Audi e-tron versus the BMW iX. The iX appears to be about 10 to 15% more efficient. Because all the results that we have got today, we have to adjust for the fact that the Audi is still driving on winter tires. The difference that it makes in consumption is about 2 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So really. This car showed 22. The true consumption with all seasons would be around 20 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, where the iX is 18. So it's 2 kilowatt hours difference per 100 kilometers. That's about 10% difference in efficiency, even though the iX is 100 horsepower more, but it's 100 kilograms less. Even though it's a bigger car, more powerful, it's 100 kilograms lighter. So it's a bigger car, it's more efficient, because it's lighter because it uses more of the high-tech materials like aluminum and the CFRP, carbon fiber. And so we definitely highly recommend it. We loved our time with it. It's a fantastic car. In fact, it might be a very logical replacement when the time comes to return our Audi e-tron. So again, please make sure that you don't forget to press that subscribe button on our channel to be notified of our next reviews. And there's lots of exciting cars coming, including Kia EV6 and Hyundai Ioniq 5, Mercedes EQS, and brand new Volvo C40, many other electric, full electric and plug-in hybrid cars currently available in the market. So stay tuned, please subscribe, and we'll see you at the next review. Thank you for watching.